Some of us may have trouble speaking in social situations, or some of you guys may feel lonely from time to time. Or you can even deal with stress on a regular basis. Well, according to an online scholarly article from Holidays with the Family Pet, No Dogs Allowed, of February 2009, people may gain a variety of psychological and health benefits from human-dog relationships. I want to express if pets should be allowed in public places like establishments and social situations, and I'll leave it up to you guys whether or not you think it's a good idea or not. I have 2 dogs at home, so I can see how some of these situations would play out, and here I'll be giving examples of the benefits and downfalls of bringing pets into stores and restaurants and even your favorite sports games. And to start off, for my first point, if pets should be allowed in stores. And some may argue, yes, they should be allowed into stores. And they would probably say they make for a great shopping day. In an online article in July 2015 called Understanding the Co-Consumption of Consumers and Their Pets says he or she constantly needs to take into account in choices and activities with their pet. With that being said, people would probably spend more money when they're at stores with their pet because they don't have to go back home and check on them or anything. Places would have the option to let them in, and to argue with that, no, some pets shouldn't be allowed in stores because most places might need to update rules and policies and change some security measures, just depending on. And pets are dirty animals, so employees would have to attentively clean up after animals. And the next point I'd like to address is if pets should be allowed in restaurants. And yes, some people should say establishments could gain more business from letting pets in. And according to an online article on dogs should be allowed in stores or restaurants, says they cannot enter food prep areas and restaurants, and employees are not allowed to make contact. So ultimately, it wouldn't really change any sanitation issues. And some could argue that no, they shouldn't be allowed because some restaurants may lose business from letting pets in because some people aren't the biggest fans of dogs or cats or might be fearful of them. Insurance policies could go up too because they're more liable for everything, and people would probably have to get pet insurance as well. And now my last point I'd like to convey is whether or not they should be allowed in your favorite sports game. And to argue with that, some may say the downfall of it could be making stadiums user-friendly can make costs go up, and everything could go up from prices to merchandise, and no matter what state owners are in, some would not be coherently there, and they'll always be responsible for their pet. And to agree with it, they should be in. Teams could charge an additional fee for the benefit of them besides the consumers, and people may be more willing to go to the game with their pet. In an online article in 2015 in October on should pets be allowed in public places, said that if animal is meant to give some company, then why should it be restricted from parks and open spaces? To summarize everything, the benefits of these things could be bringing in more money for businesses, ensure that prices are higher for convenience, and they can make the experience more enjoyable. The downfalls of this could be animals are ultimately messy creatures, and insurance policies could raise making both places liable for insurance and the owners, and it could scare off other customers. to conclude, you guys have gained a little bit of perspective on these things, and you can determine whether or not it's worth it. And you may now think it'd be a terrible idea or the greatest thing since sliced bread. But James Cromwell said, pets are humanizing, and they remind us we have an obligation and responsibility to preserve and nurture and care for all life. Oh my gosh. Questions? Yes.
What are some of the benefits that people gain from bringing their pets into?
They'll have the company there, they'll feel less anxious, or they'll be more happier with having the pets. All right, next question.
Did you learn of any places that do allow pets that you maybe didn't know about before?
I know that Gander Mountain, which I don't think, Gander allows dogs. I think Home Depot does too. And a lot of baseball teams have dog days in the park too. Restaurants, I don't really know about, only the patio areas. All right.